The fight for a $15 minimum wage has been gaining steam across the country, and today California took a step closer to putting this issue on the ballot.
California Secretary of State Alex Padilla gave the go-ahead for signature collection on a new minimum wage initiative. It would increase the minimum wage every year moving forward. News 10's Gabrielle Carroll is here to explain.
Well, California's minimum wage is already set to increase to $10 from $9 this January. The new initiative was written by SEIU-United Healthcare Workers West, and it would raise the minimum wage to $11 in 2017 and increase it by $1 a year until it hits $15 in 2021. Then it would go up based on inflation every year after that. SEIU says the raise to $10 just isn't enough.
Even with the current minimum wage, we're talking someone makes about $21,000 a year working full-time. Most of the folks that are making minimum wage are full-time workers. 95% of them are adults, and so we think that it needs to be a higher standard for working families across the state.
SEIU is going to need to collect more than 360,000 signatures to get this initiative on the ballot, but Michael Borges, who you just heard from, said he's very confident they'll be able to do that by the end of this year.
Interesting to see what was going on in Seattle when they raised their minimum wage to $15 an hour. Suddenly some people weren't wanting to work as many hours because they no longer then qualified for certain government benefits, subsidized childcare.
That is one concern, and when you talk about Seattle, that's a city that raised its minimum wage, not the state of Washington. And Sacramento is actually considering something quite similar. The mayor launched a task force last week, was the first meeting, and they're looking at what it would do to Sacramento if they were to increase the minimum wage. So we have these two movements moving forward at the city level, at the state level. I'm going to be there at the second meeting tomorrow, and News 10 will be looking very, very closely at this issue.
It'll be interesting to see what business leaders have to say about this, especially small businesses, many of whom say if the minimum wage goes up, they'll have to close their doors.
It's a very emotional issue. The business community feels strongly, workers feel strongly, and we'll be looking at how this will affect everyone in the Sacramento community.
Yeah. Whether you're earning the wage or writing the paychecks, it affects a lot of people, for sure.
Thanks, Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, thanks. Coming up new.